How's it going, everybody? Jeremy here. I haven't made a video in a while. I thought, you know what, why not just make one? This year, May, we have the new Marvel movie coming out, Captain America Civil War. I have noticed on the internet a lot of people have questioned why is it called Captain America Civil War and not Avengers Civil War, because there are a lot of characters in the movie. There are other Avengers. So I'm going to make a quick video just explaining, you know, why isn't it called Avengers instead of Captain America. So if we go back to around springtime of 2014, that was when the second Captain America movie came out, The Winter Soldier. Just before the release, it was announced that the third Captain America movie would be coming out in May of 2016, May 6th, 2016, which currently, that's the date Civil War is coming out. And it was announced that the directors of The Winter Soldier would be back to direct it because of the early reviews, the success of the film, so they were brought back on board. So back in 2014, they had already planned to make a third Captain America film following The Winter Soldier. Now, if you've seen The Winter Soldier, you know that Bucky is the Winter Soldier, and the movie ends with him pretty much, he finds out who he is, but he's still not sure what to do, you know, like he's kind of on his own still. Pretty much the next Captain America movie, they would be going deeper into where he is, what he's doing, what, you know, Captain America is going to try to find him. They all set it up that that's how the third Captain America movie would be. So then later on that year, after The Winter Soldier came out, I believe it was fall of 2014 or so, they had announced that Robert Downey Jr. would be joining the cast of the third Captain America film, which still at this point it didn't have a name. It was just Captain America 3, as we knew. So it was announced that he would be joining the cast, and this was a huge deal because obviously Robert Downey Jr., his character Iron Man, is the most popular of all the characters. He has been, you know, he's such a big star, so this was a huge thing. And immediately everybody was like, wait, so what, is this going to be Civil War? You know, because the Civil War comics, it was such a big comic. There was so many characters in it. It wasn't just Captain America. The head of it was Captain America versus Iron Man. So as soon as when Iron Man was signed to do this movie, everyone's like, oh, are they going to do Civil War? What's this going to be? You know, because apparently they had showed the script to Robert Downey Jr. and originally I guess he was going to have a small part in it. He wasn't going to be in it that much. But when they told him about it, he had said, you know, I'm only going to be in this if I get a bigger part. You know, so they pretty much made the script so that he was going to be in it more. After that, they had announced that he was on the film. So obviously when this happened, it was big news, and at this point we're like, okay, what are they going to do? I think it was a few months later, it was announced the title was Captain America Civil War. So because them signing Robert Downey Jr., they had decided to make Civil War out of it. Because they had decided to make Civil War, they needed to make it, they needed to have more characters in it. Later on, they casted back, Scarlet Witch is in it now, Hawkeye is in it, Black Widow is back in it, Falcon, War Machine, who else? Ant-Man is now in it, and obviously with Spider-Man being signed by Marvel coming back, they're going to have him in it too, apparently. I mean, most likely he is. Now, he's not supposed to have a big part in it. So anyway, all of this happened but let's keep in mind now, this originally was still Captain America 3. And so because all of this had happened, because all these big characters were signed, they still didn't want to change it. They still wanted to keep it a Captain America film. And which they should, because that's what originally was supposed to be. And it still is a Captain America film. He's still going to be the main character. He's still going to be the main central part of the story. That's pretty much how it all started. With the big signing of Robert Downey Jr., that's what kicked it off. Because they originally wanted to explore more of the Bucky character and Captain America going after him. But if you've seen the trailer for Civil War that came out in November, it looks like Bucky is they're still doing that storyline. It's almost like they're combining the storyline of Bucky being the central character and Civil War. Which obviously the Civil War movie is going to be different than the comics were, because that's what happens in the movies. That being said, it looks like they're going to do a mix of Bucky is going to be the central part, which causes division between probably Captain America and Iron Man, and also they are still going to have the general basics of there's this registration act that the superheroes have to sign or whatever or be a part of. Captain America is against it. Iron Man is for it, and then it looks like the Winter Soldier, Bucky, is going to have some kind of a part as to why Captain America probably doesn't go with it, doesn't go with the act or the, I think it's called this Sokovia Accords or something like that. And also, too, thinking about it, if this was an Avengers movie, you would still have, you think about it, in Avengers 1 and Avengers 2, Iron Man is pretty much the central focus of the movie because Robert Downey Jr. is like, you know, he's the biggest actor, he's the biggest star. So if this were called Avengers Civil War, it would probably be focused on Iron Man because of his, you know, because it's Robert Downey Jr. They would have Robert Downey Jr.'s name first in like the credits and all that. By them calling this Captain America Civil War, it's almost like an Avengers movie with Captain America being the leader, being like the central part of the story. So yeah, those are pretty much the main reasons why this movie is not an Avengers movie. I know that many people have wondered why don't they just call it Avengers? Well, because originally it wasn't supposed to be an Avengers film. It was supposed to be, it was Captain America 3, and they had just decided to cast Robert Downey Jr. to make Civil War, because I think too, they definitely wanted to make a Civil War film. They just didn't know when they'd be able to do it. It just so happened that Robert Downey Jr. was able to sign onto this film, and because of that, they're like, okay, this is our opportunity to make Civil War, but still make it a Captain America film as well. Civil War is a very big story in the comics, and there are so many superheroes in it. It would make sense to call it an Avengers movie, but in these kinds of movies, you still need a central character. And for this storyline, Captain America is the perfect center character. And it makes sense that after them signing Robert Downey Jr., they would decide to make Civil War now. That way you can still have Captain America be the center, you can still have Iron Man be a supporting character, and you still have the Avengers in it. It's just it's not all centered on the Avengers, it's just centered on Captain America with the Avengers in the film. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And we'll see when Civil War comes out. It looks very great, and I'm looking forward to it. So thank you for watching. We'll see you later.